Jai. Reina, Queen of Vrindavan, Tulsi ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Ganga Maa ki Jai. Ganga Maa Yamuna Maa ki Jai. Namsai ki Jai. Bhakti ki Jai. Shyam Bhakti ki Jai. Bol. Hare Naam Sankirtan ki Jai. All the assembled devotees ki Jai. Especially those who have come here from Concord, from New York, from Connecticut, Danbury, and from Montreal. And not to speak of those who come from India to bring Vrindavan here. So, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shomyavati Paskatya Desatarine. Jai Sri Krishna. So it's my very great pleasure, first time, to speak in this temple of Radhakesha Bihari, which I have heard many times mentioned to me by our Sadhu Maharaj and by Siddhanta Prabhu as well. Mentioned that there is a very beautiful temple, and now I can see it is a flourishing program, expanding. Also, I just heard you got the school as well?
That's in process.
It's in process. Purchasing or donation?
Donation.
They will give us donation?
No, we will purchase it, but we're collecting the donation.
That's a huge project. Very nice. I congratulate you for so much dynamic plans on behalf of our dearest Shri Radha Krishna and the Char Sampradayas. So today I wanted to speak a little bit about the great duty we have as followers of the Sanatana Dharma to pronounce and spell out the message of Dhan Seva, the message of values which can only be obtained through the grace of Dharma. The values for education, the values for environmentalism as well, the values of universal love. Because there's a shloka which says, Bharata Bhumile Haila, Manusya Janma Jara, Janma Sataka Korikara, Para Upakara. That one who is born in the land of Bharat, he should make his life perfect by doing Para Upakara, by giving kindness and help and enlightenment to the world. Now, Vrindavan is a state of consciousness. We have to define clearly. A Hindu is one who practices Hinduism and not somebody who was born in a Hindu family. Who introduced that is really interesting to analyze, but it has been said that even Britishers were very much involved in creating an elite of supporters for their colonial system, which reinforced privileges for a certain group, like the Maharajas, from the administrative point of view, and the Brahmins who went along. So we got something called the Upaloka, especially in the Bengal society. They're called the higher-ups. They're the ones who are submissive to the British Raj and getting position in the society and considered, oh, they're the Brahmin class. Now, we don't make a big debate about this now, but we know that Krishna says, Guna Karma Vipakasha. I created the divisions of man by quality and work. What is the quality and work of a person? That will decide what he belongs to. Like an electrician can have 1,000 diplomas. If he doesn't know how to install the electric things properly, the house will burn down. So it will be a disaster. His company will definitely be bankrupt. After 1 or 2 burns, finished. A musician who then cannot perform his play nicely, he will never be hired into the symphony orchestra a second time. Because one musician's playing wrong can spoil the whole symphony. So, Guna Karma Vipakasha is not India. It's not Krishna. No. What is it then? It is common sense. Unfortunately, the common sense has become the least common of the senses. So people, they say it's common sense, but we don't want to apply it. So we created a system which is Hindu by preference and not Hindu by quality. But this is not very good for us. I was in a meeting of acharyas in Hyderabad, and they were complaining how many Hindus are converting to Christianism by some enticement, or to Muslims. How many Hindus became Muslims just to save their throat in the times of the Mughals. And then their descendants, now they look like Indians, they are Indians, but they are Muslims. So there is a certain thing where we suffer from that. We have suffered a great loss of very wonderful people. Actually, we should accept. Anybody who believes in karma and reincarnation is a Hindu. Anybody who believes in yoga and vegetarianism and Ayurveda is a Hindu. If they believe in that, if they practice that, I mean, the word Hindu is very ambiguous. As a matter of fact, the word Hindu is not Sanskrit. It is just a word coming from Parsi. The Muslims could not pronounce the word Sindhu because there's a river going there, the river Sindhu. They could not pronounce it, and they said those who are living on the other side of this river Sindhu, they're the Hindus. That's where it comes from. But today it's a political term. So if you say to be politically correct, you may say Hindi is the main language of India, Hindustan is the land, and so on. So there's many, it has become so incorporated in the overall general usage of languages that we have to define who is a Hindu. Bharata Mata ki jai. Who belongs to Bharata Mata? Who is Bharata Mata? Is Bharata Mata a political personality, something to do with the geographical separation of India today? No, because she would be including Bangladesh and Pakistan at least, because that was Bharata Mata, plus Afghanistan, which was actually the Kandara, Gandhari. She from Kandara. She comes from Afghanistan. So, and then there is Cambodia. Cambodia is the oldest Hindu temples, not the oldest, but the oldest relics of the Angkor Wat temple complex. That place was called Yashodapuram. So Hinduism went to Cambodia. And what about those in Bali? And what about those who worship Lord Ram in the Ramayana in Thailand? Are they Hindus also? Where does the Hindu start and where does the Hindu stops? Has to be defined in order to understand who are our allies, who are our friends. And Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada was severely criticized in the beginning when he brought white people dressing dhoti and kurta, playing kartan and mridanga, and dancing in the streets of India, chanting Hare Krishna. Everybody in India was dumbstruck. What? We are trying to give it up, and now the Westerners we are imitating, now they're coming here and they're chanting Hare Krishna. Oh, there's something must be wrong. Something, our chip has to be reprogrammed. So this went all the way to the Parliament of India, and somebody proposed they cannot be real. They must be CIA agents. It went so far that out in the newspaper there was a joke. There was people putting the pistol under the dhoti, and there were two agents, and one was saying, you know, whoever speaks to you, just say Haribol, and they will let you come in. They were giving the CIA instructions how to be an Indian CIA agent with Hare Krishna dress and purpose. So finally that was dismissed. It was accepted, okay, they are not CIA agents. So who are they? Are they devotees? Who's a devotee? A devotee is somebody who's worshipping Deva. Devotee, Deva. So who is a Deva? Well, we have Deva Jagatpate. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. There he is, Vasudeva. So where's the Deva? And where is the devotion to the Deva? There's a Hindu. That's the meaning of devotees. And now we have to understand, is for Hindus the only form of God the one which is in the scriptures? As a matter of fact, there are 33 million demigods mentioned in the Shastras. Now, are they the Deva? They are also Devas, but they are not the Deva Jagatpati. They are not Mahadeva and they are not Vasudevaya. That's why we have these shlokas which define Govinda Manipurusham Tamaham Bhajami, or Krishnaya Vasudevasya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Upakumaraya. So these shlokas, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sanchit Ananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. These are descriptions of the Bhagavan. But according to Hindu tradition and practice, the concept of God is so wonderful. If you want to know the Hindu concept of God, you have to go to Govardhan. Then you understand this whole mountain is God. And every stone from it, every Shila, can be painted sometimes as Krishna, sometimes as Balana, sometimes also as Radha. And the Brijbasis, they're worshipping Govardhan every way, in so many ways. Holy stone from Radharani. For example, a Radharani Shila is a stone from Varsha. In Radharaman temple, next to Radharaman, there is a little form of Lord Radha, of Sri Radha, but it is not a deity like we are accustomed. It is a Varshana Shila. So according to the Hindu tradition, you can worship the Lord after Pran Pratishta is being established in a deity by an Acharya. And you know the form of Lord Jagannath, that is so surprising. Big smile, round eyes, two stubby arms. And that's God. Well, the devotees accept it. They all go to Jagannath Puri, they all pull him in the chariot. Obviously, they believe he's God. But he's like beyond this human body concept. He's divine, transcendental. His form cannot be limited. And then what about divinity in the Bhagavad Gita? According to the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am the sun, I am the light of the sun and the moon. Sun and moon, they are my eyes. I'm watching. Then he says, I'm Surya. Then he also presents himself as Bhumipati, which is the husband of Mother Earth. So Bhumi is also a deity. Bhumideva, Bhumidevi. So we can understand that the Hindu concept of divinity is very broad. Now, if we look at the ancient cultures of the earth, we actually believe that Sanatana Dharma at some point in some history was spread all around the planet. Now, we find that in ancient cultures around the world, they all worship the sun, they all worship the moon, they all worship the Mother Earth. They all worship the divine spirit called Brahman. They call it with different names, but they all worship that universal spirit. And they also worship the divine couple of Radha and Krishna, because in every ancient culture, practically, which I have studied, there was a concept of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and they are inseparable. And they are the root cause of creation. Makes sense, no? Because there's always male and female involved for any type of creation. So, it should be there in the divine as well, no? I mean, the idea that some god manufactured the whole thing himself without any female counterpart, that's a kind of a Christian concoction, you know? And the thing with the thing, he took a rib out of Adam and made Eva. No? this conception, this is there in Christianity, but we don't see that limiting common conception in the Hindu tradition. The divine, feminine, masculine. There's Mohini Murti. She's an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and she is a woman. So if you want to understand the ontology of Hinduism, well, first of all, you have to know a lot. It's not so easy, just come a few things. You have to actually understand what is there in the Shastras. What do the Upanishads say? What do the Puranas say? What do the Mahabharata say? What do the Ramayana say? What do the Samhitas say? And who can understand? Vidaisya sarvair aham iva video vedanta krit vidavid ivacha. By Krishna's own word, he says, I compiled the Vedas, I understand the Vedas, and by all the Vedas, it's only me who's supposed to be understood. In other words, all the Vedas is only for understanding Krishna. Has anybody here in the room ever met anybody who has read all the Vedas? Then please lift your arm. Seems to be a big job. There's so much literature, so many nirukt. There's the grammar, there's the Shilpa Shastra, there's the Dhanoveda, Ayurveda. There's so many. It's impossible. Nobody can read all this. But all these books are simply for understanding who is Krishna, according to Bhagavad Gita. So, understanding the Devas, understanding divinity, you have to understand that the Vedic knowledge is very broad. And that's why the Vedas and the Sanatana Dharma teaches us to love everyone. Because everybody is a part and parcel, even in a small fraction of their lordship, Radha Krishna behind. So we cannot bring anybody in here and start beating him in front of Radha Krishna behind. Oh, he's nonsense, he's not part of you. It's not possible. Everybody is part of the Lord, even if they do wrong things. They may have gone through some karmic turn, they have to be rectified, but in front of the Lord, everybody is part of the Lord. Nobody. There is no real challenge of the divine, but the divine has given us free will, and by the enactment of our free will, we sometimes do things which are not so convenient for us. But coming back to the point of who is a Sanatana Dharma, Dharma means that which leads a man or a woman to have such a conduct that she and he makes others happy and the Supreme as well. Om Sarve Bhavantu Shukina, Sarve Shantu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Makachittu Kabha Bhavet. Just one shloka to prove that. Sanatana Dharma is the happiness culture. And happiness culture is the culture of the truth. Veda means truth. So we follow the Vedanta, the final conclusion of the truth. That is very beautiful. Therefore, in Veda, there cannot be prejudice and there cannot be discrimination. And therefore, the caste system, as it is being taught by some people, Smartic Brahmins, is not Vedic. It is some later concoction. It is not the original system. In the original system, you are Deva or Asura. If you go against Deva, the Supreme Deva, you become Asura. And the whole process of Krishna consciousness, the whole process of the Vedas is converting the Asuras in Devas. Yes, some people, they really want to be Asuras. Some people don't listen. But if you listen, so many examples. Why do the Acharyas preach? To turn the Asuras into Devas. Why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu go to preach to Jagai and Madai? They were drunkards, they were robbers, rapists, they were the worst thing you can imagine. That's what the scriptures say. And they first went to him. Why? They could have just gone out and saved some gentle Brahmins. But a gentle Brahmin you don't have to save, he's already saved. So if only Brahmins would have accepted the call of Lord Chaitanya, or the call of Nimbarkacharya, or the call of Ramanujacharya, or the call of Madhvacharya, just here. If only Brahmins would have followed them, then what would have been their contribution to the world? Nothing. If you educate and educated, what accomplishment, what did you do? If you cure an healthy man, what nonsense is that? You cure the sick, the downtrodden, the lost. So, this is the secret of Mahaprabhu and all the acharyas. Save them, and that's what Radharani's special power is. She is the highest grace. How can you prove that? Because she goes down to the lowest and saves them and brings them up. Otherwise you could not say Radharani has the supreme highest grace. It would not work. If only the top level of devotees could reach her. But no, she's going out, she's sending, now here, she's putting tulasi leaf on every preparation. Why? Because Krishna doesn't eat if there's no tulasi leaf. Say, sorry, I'm not eating this. So she knows that. I see Radha Krishna Bihari. Oh my God, the time is already over. I'm so sorry. Can I continue some more time?
Yeah, I was thinking that you continue and then we do Aarti and then Hanuman Chalisa and then we go and revisit by that time we'll have more people. We can actually revisit and view the videos.
Yes. Yes, so I have another 30 minutes.
Would it be okay if after Aarti we continue, or do you want to continue right now?
We're on the flow.
Okay.
So, the question of Sanatana Dharma, the definition and the benefits of defining it, they're obvious. We want to increase the amount of people who work for the happiness of the world and the happiness of the people, and we want to increase and we want to motivate young people to subscribe themselves to achievable standards of human dignity. It's very funny because according to the science, humans are called Homo sapiens. Homo means human and sapiens. So sapiens means wise. Actually, Homo sapiens means a Brahmin, because wise, wisdom, that is jnana and vijnana. So Homo sapiens means a human wise man. But where's the wise man today? We are destroying the environment, we are destroying our food, we destroy everything in the name of sophisticated modern society. So we are not very wise. Atato Brahma Jigyasa, the Vedas say the same. Human form of life is meant to understand the truth. So it is very obvious that the Vedas are outgoing transformatory process which they donate to us in charity. There's 3 things you should never abandon, which is dana, yajna, and tapa. These 3 should never be abandoned. And dana means giving love, giving Veda, giving truth, giving instruction. That is dana. There's many types of dana. Food dana, clothing dana, housing dana. But what the Brahmin's main job is, the service of Danavir, when he gives the instruction of divine Gyan. Krishna himself, he gave divine Gyan to Arjuna. Whole Bhagavad Gita topic is about divine Gyan. Maitreya in Vidura, divine Gyan. Uddhava Gita, divine Gyan. Everywhere, when instructions are given, the topic is divine Gyan. The topic is not anything else like just mundane relative informations or anything, no. It's all about divine Gyan. So, because people need divine Gyan. Without divine Gyan, they're lost. That's why it is a duty, like I said, Bharata Bhumila Haile Manusya Janma Jana Janma Sadaka Kori Kara Para Upakara. We have to give divine Gyan to the world. And whoever has divine Gyan can give divine Gyan. Kiba Vipra, Kiba Myasi Sudha Kena Naya, say Krishna Tattvavita, say Guru Haya. You have to have divine Gyan, then you can give divine Gyan. And if you have divine Gyan and you do not give divine Gyan, then you're a miser. Then you're not a friend of the poor. You're not Dina Bandhu Jagatpate's servant. No, you're a miser. You have divine Gyan and you don't want to give it to somebody. We just made a drama. Let's say there's a doctor. Some doctors are very talented, they're very highly capable. So they become famous. And then somebody comes, and another one comes, and more people come in. The end, the doctor has no more time for nothing else because he's just treating. And then he says, okay, and then some man comes, and he says, oh, I'm suffering. And the doctor says, no, sorry, I cannot treat you. Why not? Oh, because you're a gypsy. I don't treat gypsies. And then the person rejected by the doctor goes out and dies. Then the whole good name and fame of the doctor will be ruined. He has rejected somebody because of his family. What kind of a doctor is this? So we cannot allow that Hinduism is being looked upon as only favoring the saving grace for a selected portion of society. Plus, it's against the First Amendment of America. It's strictly against the First Amendment. You cannot introduce something and want it to be successful in America if it goes against the First Amendment. And if everybody who comes and studies Krishna consciousness is not allowed to become Krishna conscious and is not recognized for being Krishna conscious, even though he is Krishna conscious, then it is just based on prejudice and favoritism. It is just a mundane duality. It has nothing to do with spirituality. Thanks, bye-bye. Take it home, do what you like. We don't need it. And that is what I am wanting to make as a point today, because we need to join the forces of all Sanatana Dharmas, of the Char Sampradayas, and even of the Advaitavadis as well, those who have not clear understanding of the divinity. What is the divinity like? They think God is less than us. He has no feelings, he has no ear, he cannot hear me, he has no mouth, he cannot speak. He's some anthropomorph conception. Even those who think that, they should still understand we have to work together to protect the Yamuna, the Ganga, the holy Dham of Hinduism, the Char Dham. They also have to join together. And the Jains and the Sikhs as well. Let's all of us come to the common sense, and we have to protect our heritage of love and Divya Jnana. That's what we have to protect. Other things, there just may be some relative considerations. My guru is better than your guru. You must have heard that, huh? That's the kindergarten level of understanding. There's no my guru and your guru. Acharyamam Vijaniyam. Krishna says, I am the guru of all. And I am the guru in the form of Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, Varmana Pradakshaka Guru, Pati Guru. There is so many gurus. And all of you should become gurus. You shouldn't say, oh, guru is this guy who comes once a year from India, a big beard, and this is the big guy. No, the guru is the teacher of what is truth. Like we have so many teachers, they're all teaching. But we also have a minister of education. And he is in a higher position than the teacher, but not when it comes to teaching. When the Minister of Education comes, he doesn't change 2 + 2 is 4. It's still 2 + 2 is 4. It doesn't matter whether he's a famous old minister or he's just a mass teacher. So the Vedas do not change and the teachings do not change. And we have to, as followers of Sanatana Dharma, we have to join together, and this is slowly going on. Don't forget that Hinduism is very new for America. It's brand new. America has seen some people coming from India, but Hinduism is new to America. And that's good, because Hinduism is that philosophy which can answer all the problems the American and world society has, which they cannot solve without Dharma. Atma-Gyan, they cannot solve it. Harvard University, this is the place of Harvard University, Boston. Do they have a department for soul science? They have divinity and this and that, but do they study what is the difference between a dead body and a living body? Can they define what is the soul? And that's the very beginning of Om Purnam Mada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Mudachyate. The very first teaching in the Vedas is soul. Everything which comes from the supreme original source is also fully equipped and perfect. Every soul has a perfect purpose, a perfect destination. That's not the body. The body is going to go in a crematory and become ashes. That's not us. Bhagavad Gita. Denosmin yatadihi komaram javanam jara. Clear teachings. We are not this body made of matter. So who we are. Why they don't study that in the universities? They have no soul science, and therefore they have no Dharma science. Because you have to believe in the soul and in the responsibility of the soul, then you can study Dharma. So all the universities of the American colonialized education system are not focusing on what is actually wisdom, sapiens. They are not studying it. That's why these temples are so important. For any Hindu, karma and reincarnation, you don't even talk about that. That is so obvious, and everybody is responsible for what he's doing. Before the Lord, everybody is responsible. And he will be rewarded accordingly. Oh, that is also applied in our system here. In a school, you get the good degrees if you studied well. You get more money if you made some good performance. So, in a way, karmic system is totally incorporated. But when it comes to the universal laws, they don't accept it. Say, no, no, no. Why not? Because they don't want to accept that somebody's above me. And they don't want to accept that he's more beautiful than you, and that he's more intelligent than you, and that he's the supreme Bhagavan. Oh no. That we have a hard time to accept. So it's a strange situation, my friends. This world is in a perilous situation, and the Hindus, Vaishnavas, the Sanatana Dharmis have the capacity to cure that disease without sectarianism. My Guru Deva Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he said, if you're attached to be a Christian, then be a first-class Christian. If you're attached to be a Buddhist, then be a first-class Buddhist, and let us work together, because God is one. And the happiness of humanity is in our hands. We can destroy this planet, we already know how to do it. Or we can stand up for the truth, come together and work together whenever it's possible for enlightening others. And for that purpose, of course, we have satsang. For that purpose, we come together. And I thank you so much, Keshavji, for inviting us to give this talk tonight on my journey through North America. I just stopped by here and delivered this invitation and this challenge as well. I am bringing the challenge horse. Let us all work together for making the world Hindu, Vaishnava, Sanatana Dharma, call it as you like. I will not argue about the terminology, but let us work for the people to come to sanity and start taking care of Mother Earth, of the rivers, of the children, have integrity in the educational system. If you bring up your child in this society, you have to know that this child is going to be educated by colonialist concept of education. And it's going to suffer from this wrong education. Because the real education is that we have to accept the divine authority, the original authority, the underlying truths, the invisible, all guardian, all supporting message of love which comes from the divine. The divine is not coming to throw some laws on us. He's coming to save us, to embrace us. Vrindavan is the land of embrace. If you've ever been to Bangladesh, then you know what that means. In Bengal not, but in Bangladesh you can really understand. Everybody you meet you have to hug 3 times. 2 times not enough, 1 time nothing. 3 times you have to hug, so make sure you love everybody. This is the movement of hugging. Mahaprabhu hugs, Krishna hugs, the acharyas hug their disciples to take them into the spiritual world. Just nice, no? Why not being hugged by somebody who loves God and now he hugs you and takes you into the fold of the family? Why you hug somebody? Hug means heart to heart. Between my heart and your heart there's no difference. Not the Italian hugging. Italian hugging is here, you hug and you put a knife in it. That's how Caesar was killed, with a hug. So I want you all to become very carefully conscious of what this is all about and how it applies to your life. Because I won't come back here most likely, or if yes, after a long time, but you're here every day, and you have to cultivate this every day, and you have to teach it to your children every day, and you have to apply it to them every day, and you have to save them from the computer nonsense video games of killing people, and you have to save them from the junk food industry, and you have to save them from the cheating society, and everything in this world depends on money. No. Everything in this world depends on love. Our acharyas did not go after money. They became our acharyas because they ignored money and opulence. Not even kings could buy them. Otherwise, we are cheated if we think that the best thing, the biggest person in this world is the one who has the biggest car. No, it's not like that. You can say the biggest one is the one who gives the biggest donation, makes the biggest temple and the most beautiful things, and the biggest program is something extraordinary. But if he does that only for name and fame, still he's missing a lot. Because we are not supposed to do things for name and fame. We are supposed to do things for the pleasure of the Supreme. Anya vilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena Krishna nushilanam bhakti uttam. The highest bhakti, the uttama bhakti, that is when there's no idea of any business mentality. Vrindavan is not business. And Vrindavan is also not Vigyan. It's not that you're learning, and then you think I'm better than the others. Vrindavan is actually the place of the women. You got it? All the men gotta shut up, be quiet. Vrindavan is the place of the gopis. And one time, Lord Krishna and Balaram, they were hungry. And they said, oh, let's go to the Brahmins, they're just doing some yajna. So for the yajna, they're cooking a lot of things. So Krishna and Balaram, they go, and said, oh, my dear Brahmins, could you give us a little food? We want to make a picnic in the forest. And the Brahmins said, you boys are disturbing the yajna. Don't come at this time, we are in the middle of yajna. We have no time for little kids here. So then the Krishna and Balaram were very frustrated. No prasadam for the forest. Then they said, okay, let's go and talk to their wives. Looks like these old Brahmins, they have no brain, they don't understand. So they went to the wives of the Brahmins and they asked them, oh, Krishna and Balaram want to do a picnic in the forest. Wouldn't you like to give us a little bit of food for taking? And the women said, picnic? Krishna Balaram? In the forest? Yes. We come immediately. They took all the food they were cooking for the yajna. And they took it all in the forest and they made a big festival and everything was wonderful. And Krishna, Balaram and the cow and birds, everybody eat. And after they are finished, they said, okay, very nice, thank you ladies, now you can go home. And the ladies said, actually we don't like to go home. We prefer to stay with you in the forest, it's so nice. And then Krishna says, but you're elder ladies, you have children at home, how can you stay in the forest? Your husbands will become very upset. So you go back home, don't worry. I will arrange that your husbands are not angry that you took all the food to the forest. When the husbands came home, no woman, no food. The yajna finished. They cannot finish it. And they thought, well, what's happened here? Our wives, where did they go? And they said, well, they went with the boys to the forest. And then they remembered, oh, these boys, they had asked us for some food. Oh, we are so lucky. We are so stupid. We could not recognize Krishna Balaram asking us for seva. We are doing yajna and ignoring Bhagavan. Very smart, huh? So, we are so lucky we have real devotees at home. Our wives, they are the real devotees, and they went with all the food, served Krishna Balaram. So when the wives came back, the husbands offered obeisance. This is, oh, sorry, so good to come back. We are so lucky to have you as our wives. So this is Vrindavan, it's the land of the wind. It's the land of Radha. That's why nobody says in Vrindavan, Krishna, Krishna. Everybody says, Jai Sri Radha. She is the queen. She is the one who knows what is real love. And she is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahayanya. She's the all-embracing manifestation of Bhakti's expansion. She's Bhakti Devi, Shraddha Devi, she's Gayatri Devi, she's every Devi for giving love to the world. So that is what we worship. So therefore we are very lucky. Three ladies and Krishna. Huh? Radha, Lalita, Vishaka and Krishna. So many proof of what I said. This is the land of the ladies. Huh? But the beloved of Sri Radha, Govindaji, Radha Gopinathaji. We cannot make our mentality of wanting to create dualities. We cannot apply this. This is very wrong. We have to understand what Radha Krishna, what our Guru Parampara wants us to do. How can we be seen as Paka Sanatana Dharmis? Even not only in this temple, in our private sadhana, in our private family. No, in this society. In this society, the Brahman has a voice to advise the politicians. Hey, what you're doing is wrong. What you said is wrong. According to the understanding. And then you start giving the right instruction. That is the duty of a Brahmin. That is the duty of those who have wisdom. They give advice with love. So we have a position in this society. And in the temple we are training ourselves for having this vision and for being able to go out and to do very good things to others. So now my time is out, but I can receive 2 questions. Quickly, otherwise there's no time. Anybody has a question? Anyway, we didn't have any introduction. I'd like to introduce myself as the beggar of love, the Tridanti Bhikkhu Paramadvaiti Swami. My main work is in South America, and I work with many of the original tribes of the world for the sake of Mother Earth, including Adivasis from India, Rishis, Yogis, anybody who wants to work for Mother Earth. And also we have a program called Vrindavan Act Now, which you can find out more about it. Keshavji knows everything. We want Vrindavan to look the best holy place in the earth. Together with all the Sampradayas. We want to make this place the one and only experience, which is so impeccably beautiful, clean, tasty, that people will not even want to go away, or they will bring Vrindavan with them to make in their house Like here. This is an example of Vrindavan in Boston. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण हरि जी भगवान की
जय।